different texts, such as Tom Sawyer. Now, Tom Sawyer is a book that I love, and it is true, we had this before, this was brought up, that Tom Sawyer is recommended, and that's a great thing. And yet when you look at the question that's asked of Tom Sawyer, and imagine yourself as a 12-year-old being asked this question, students summarize the development of the morality of Tom Sawyer in Mark Twain's novel of the same name, and analyze its connection to themes of accountability and authenticity by noting how it is conveyed through character, setting, and plot. What scene is that question even talking about? Do we know? Well, as it turns out, in Appendix B, we actually have the famous fence painting scene taken from Chapter 2 in Tom Sawyer. But this question that's been asked is an overall question of the novel. We don't know how specifically that scene's actually going to be looked at. Not only that, but this is pretty poor literary analysis. Authenticity in Tom Sawyer? If there ever was an authentic character in American literature, it's Tom Sawyer, even when he's lying through his teeth. So why would authenticity even come up as a question unless you didn't know, you didn't understand, and you didn't love Tom Sawyer? The questions about Tom Sawyer should be questions about boyhood, questions about the fence painting scene and cleverness and whether he has aspects of the heroic to him. Not only are those the right questions to ask of those texts, but those are the questions that students want to talk about in class, because literature is a study of human nature. And if we dissect it in this meaningless way, kids not only do not become college and career ready, they don't even have a love of learning, and they don't even have an understanding of their fellow men. I would be happy to spend some time in showing you how I think Tom Sawyer ought to be taught, but of course this is a legislative assembly. I can't